All right, let's just jump right in because this story is wow. We're talking about an ancient university called Takshashila and how it became the forge, really, for two absolute legends who changed everything for a whole subcontinent. So let me ask you this. What if one of the oldest universities in the world was basically the starting point for an entire empire? Yeah. It brought together these two people, a teacher and his student, who didn't just, learn about history. They went out and completely rewrote it. And these are our guys. You've got the teacher, the brilliant strategist, Chanakya, and then his student, the kid who would become an emperor, Chandragupta Maurya. Honestly, their partnership is the engine that drives this whole incredible story. But hold on, before we get into what they did, we gotta talk about where it all started. Let's take a closer look at Takshashila, which was, no joke, like an ocean of knowledge back in the day. So this place was located in modern-day Pakistan. And look, Takshashila wasn't just some local school. This was a legendary, world-renowned institution. It was pulling in the sharpest minds from all over. I mean, think of it like the Harvard or Oxford of the ancient world, but we're talking more than 2,000 years ago. It's wild. And the sheer size of this place, it's kind of mind-blowing. We're talking over 10,000 students. Just to give you a little perspective, that's bigger than a lot of ancient cities were. So no, this was not some small college. This was a full-on, bustling metropolis of learning. So what were all these people studying? Well, the course list had more than 64 different subjects. And the scope of it was incredible. Believe me, this was way beyond just the basics. I mean, look at this. They were digging deep into things that would build empires. We're talking advanced warfare, politics, economics, even surgery. This place wasn't just making scholars, it was churning out the leaders of tomorrow. Okay, so into this amazing, buzzing environment walk our two main characters. And this is where the story really shifts, right? It goes from being about a place to being about the people. And that one fateful meeting. First up, you have Acharya Chanakya. Now, this guy was the professor of politics and economics at Takshashila, a total master strategist. People said his mind was as sharp as a sword, and honestly, probably just as deadly. And then, one day, walking through campus with thousands of students around, Chanakya spots someone. Just one kid. A young, fiery, courageous boy named Chandragupta. And there was just something about him. He completely stood out. And in that split second, Chanakya saw way more than just a smart kid. He saw destiny itself. He knew right then and there that this boy could change the entire future of India. It was like this little spark of recognition that would end up starting a huge fire. Okay, so having potential is great, but turning that potential into actual power, that's a whole other ballgame. And that's what came next, a custom-built education with one goal in mind, creating an emperor. And this wasn't your typical course load, not by a long shot. Chanakya designed this curriculum from the ground up, just for Chandragupta. It covered everything a king would need to know. The art of war, real leadership, tricky diplomacy, massive-scale strategy, and yeah, the nitty-gritty of how to build a nation from scratch. And here's the key thing to remember. This was about the whole package. Chanakya wasn't just making him smarter. He was training him physically, building his mental toughness, shaping his very character. The end goal, to forge a complete leader, someone who could think like a strategist and act like a warrior. So the training is done. Graduation day is here. And now it's time for the final exam. And let me tell you, it was the hardest test you could possibly imagine. It was time to actually go out and build an empire. And their target? The Nanda Empire, which was in power at the time. These guys were powerful, sure, but they were also super corrupt, oppressive, just a mess. They were the Goliath. And Chanakya and Chandragupta? Well, they were David. And this is the moment when Takshashila stops being just a university and becomes something else entirely, a command center. It's where the alliance was forged, it's where the mission to take down the Nandas was launched, and it all led to the creation of one of the greatest empires in India's history, the Mauryan Empire. So, the empire gets built, mission accomplished. But what's the real lesson here? What's the thing that really lasts from this incredible tale? Let's talk about that, the legacy of ideas that Takshashila gave the world. Yeah, this quote right here just nails it. Takshashila's true power wasn't in its library or its classrooms. It was in the revolutionary ideas it was sparking. It was a place where they turned knowledge into a weapon, but not a weapon of destruction, a weapon of creation, to build something new, a fair, unified nation. You know, if you go to where Takshashila once stood, all you'll see are ruins. The buildings are gone, crumbled to dust, but its real legacy, that's still standing. It's indestructible. It's this powerful idea that knowledge, when you put it in the right hands with the right vision, it can literally change